So I walk into the scene and I see that there's a victim on the floor. I need to check the surrounding for any hazardous materials. I see that it's clear. I go over to the victim and I look for responsiveness. Are you okay? The victim is not responding. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to check for breathing. Now I'm going to tilt the chin and listen for any breathing. The victim is breathing. I'm not going to have to do any kind of CPR. So the next thing that I'm going to look for is circulation, and I'm going to look for that by feeling the extremities to see if I feel either hot or cold. I feel her hand and I see that it is hot, so there's good circulation. There's no reason to be worried about that. Now, visually I can see that there's nothing to be concerned about as far as bleeding, so we're good on that aspect. The next thing that I'm going to look for is dots, and so the first thing that I'm going to do is look at the individual's eyes to see that they're properly dilated. All right, they're properly dilated. Now I'm going to look for bleeding in the nose. No bleeding in the nose. I'm going to open the mouth to make sure that there's no bleeding in the mouth and that there are no teeth damaged. I'm then going to look at the neck to see if I can see a medical necklace to see if there's any prior circumstances that would prevent me from working with this person. All right, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to check for tenderness. I'm going to start with the chest, and I'm going to press in right here on the chest. Does that hurt? All right. She said it didn't hurt. I'm then going to move to the abdomen. All right. There's 4 parts of the abdomen. Does that hurt? She said it did hurt. I'm now going to move to the pelvic region. And there's 2 sides to this, and it's right here, on the sides and up top. Did that hurt? All right, we're okay there. I'm then going to move to the extremities, and we're going to start with the legs. So, does that hurt? She showed no sign of tenderness in her legs, so we're going to move to the arms. Does this hurt? Doesn't hurt? Does this hurt? So she's only shown 1 sign of tenderness, and that was in her abdomen. So the next thing that we're going to move to is demonstrating the recovery position. So this would be used after dislodging an object from the victim's throat. So it's going to drain everything from the victim's system. I'm going to start off with the leg, moving the leg here. We're then going to move the arm right here. And then we're going to move the other arm across the chest. I'm now going to get on the victim's side, and I'm going to rotate her over on her side. Okay. And that demonstrated the recovery position. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is show how to deal with shock. And so for shock, I'm going to see if the victim is breathing, rotate the chin, check for breathing. She's breathing, no CPR is going to be needed. The next thing that I'm going to do is elevate her legs 6 to 12 inches. I'm going to pull this chair over. And I'm going to elevate her legs. Okay. The next thing that I'm going to do now with shock is I'm going to loosen her clothing to make her comfortable, so nothing is restricting her. I'm then going to wipe her forehead with a wet, cool rag. All right. That's how you deal with shock. All right. The next thing I'm going to be demonstrating is the use of an EpiPen. You mind getting up for me? And so the first thing with an EpiPen is finding the area you're going to insert it at, and that's going to be between the knee and the thigh. It's going to be somewhere in this area. The next thing you're going to do is remove the safety cap to the EpiPen, and you're going to be sure to hold it right in the middle and not on the sides. So I'm going to insert it in the victim's leg. I'm going to wait to hear a click, and when I hear a click, I'm going to wait 10 seconds. I'm going to pull it out after 10 seconds. And I'm going to rub the area for 10 more seconds. And that's how you use an EpiPen. The next thing I'm going to demonstrate is 2 moves, how to move an individual from one place to the other. I'm going to bring my little brother in here to demonstrate that. He's going to lay down. So for the ankle drag, which is going to be the fastest way to move somebody on a smooth surface from A to B, and I'm just going to kneel down, grab the victim by the ankles, and I'm just going to drag him. Now the next thing I'm going to demonstrate is the shoulder grab, and this is going to be best for rough surfaces. It's going to be the fastest way to do it. Move over for me, this one. Thank you. And I'm just going to take him by the shoulders. I'm going to drag him like this. All right. And the last thing I'm going to demonstrate is a splint. So I'm going to find a splint-like object, and I'm going to first put it on the victim's arm. I'm going to wrap it and tie it in place. So then I'm going to make a sling for the splint. I'm just going to go over her shoulder. I'm going to wrap it around her arm. And the arm splint is going to look something like this. And the next thing I'm going to demonstrate is the leg splint. Thank you. Ooh. First, you okay? All right. The next thing that's going to be demonstrated is the leg splint. And I'm going to place the leg splint underneath the victim's leg first. Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it to the victim's leg. And I'm going to use multiple bandages to do this. Alright, and that's the leg splint. And that's the end of the first aid video. Thank you.